What are you in for?
I'm in for stalking my ex. Speaking of stalking, have you seen Rear Window?
No.
Don't we tell you about it? It's really cool.
No, I actually literally don't.
Well, Alfred Hitchcock's 1954 film Rear Window ventures into the private tendencies of human nature, voyeurism, curiosity of others' lives, or simply put, people watching. In this film, an incapacitated man, L.B. Jeffries, is resorted to watch out his window at his neighbors for entertainment day upon day. This hobby soon becomes an obsession, and Jeffrey believes he has witnessed the murder of Mrs. Thornwell by her husband in the middle of a dark and stormy night. Throughout the film, Jeff continues to spy on his neighbors in hopes of finding what happened to Mrs. Thornwell and gave evidence to convict Mr. Thornwell of murder. Hitchcock uses only one intricate set for this movie. It only gives the audience one vantage point and adds suspense and a yearning to prowl around to find evidence that Jeff cannot see. Hitchcock brings to light the fact that human nature makes us curious for secrets from our sight. I would recommend watching this movie either at home or on the big screen to those who like investigating characters and solving mysteries. It is not for the passive moviegoer.
Yeah, that's pretty metal.
So what are you in for?
Just smuggling drugs out of China, which is exactly like the plot of this movie I watched a couple weeks ago. Wong Kar-wai's melancholy romp through a fragrant, stylized landscape of mid-1990s urban romance and disillusionment, Chungking Express, is a Hong Kong film that follows the independent accounts of two unrelated city policemen as they muddle their way through the dregs of heartbreak and the mystique of new love. Art house film buffs and angst-ridden millennials alike will revel in Wong's dreamy metropolitan entrada through the human phenomenon of emotional isolation. For the majority of the film, we stay in a heady realm slightly above realism, with a surprisingly soft portrayal of sex, drug trading, and misery. It may not be a happy movie, but it is a fun one. The swooping cinematic surrealism and jokey chagrin take the acridity out of Wong's exploration of emotional isolation and melancholia. Wong's vision of 1994 Hong Kong beauty will seduce the imaginative audience, but the nebulous plot may hinder the enjoyment of a viewer looking for pedestrian rom-coms or an action-charged recreational drama. I'd give it 8.5 out of 10 nearly expired pineapple tins.
Wow, that's intense. I've been in here so long, I hardly remember the outside world. First thing I'm gonna do when I get out of here is go find my daughter. She should be about 10 by now. Same age as the protagonist of the film Anina.
Anina, an animated film from Uruguay directed by Alfredo Sodergit, is about a 10-year-old girl named Anina Yate Salas, whose palindrome name gets her teased at school, and eventually leads to her getting in a fight with Yeezel the elephant. As punishment, their principal gives each of them a sealed black envelope and an order to not open the envelope for a whole week. The film focuses on the nature of punishment and what ways are proper to punish and correct the child's behavior. The older, more conservative viewpoint that traditional punishments, such as spanking or public shaming, are right, contrasts with the principal's more experimental, less conventional approach. Anina disagrees with the idea of corporal punishment, and indeed, her behavior shows that traditional methods won't necessarily work with her. The movie seems to say that there is no single correct way to raise a child. In fact, the less traditional punishment helps Anina to learn more about Yeezel and sympathize with her difficult family life. By showing Anina's growing empathy for Yeezel, the film also advocates for the importance of empathy and understanding alternate viewpoints. The film's surreal imagery might scare younger kids, but kids 10 and up will relate to Anina, and parents will love seeing the world interpreted through the eyes of a child.
All right, everyone. The hole's ready. Let's get out of here.